I want you to take a step back for a moment, take a deep breath and think. Why do bad stuff exist? Doesn't matter what you consider bad, be it objective or subjective or moral or natural or any other way. Why do you think bad things just keep coming up? Is it greed? Mistake? Malice? Bad judgment? Misunderstood artistic endeavor? Whatever socio-political system you happen to not like? Well, any one of these can be possible, but in a cosmic sense, I think that bad stuff happens to balance the good stuff we are observing. For example, I've just watched a convoluted piece of shit and Banana Fish, and now I have a newfound appreciation for Banana Fish. If everything was just like Banana Fish, then I would forget what makes a good anime good and bad anime bad, compromising my views and probably giving me an urge to make a 12-minute philosophical rant about why Barazoman Kanshoku should have made Ruko into a cum dumpster or something similar. Anyway, RErideD is a 12-episode original anime made by Geek Toys, a name I've never heard of before, and directed by Takuya Sato, which for some reason is very familiar to me, but I'm not sure where have I heard it before. The story is simple. In the far future of people who forgot how to write Latin properly, there's a massive tech-making corporation that makes Terminators, and this dude named Derrida is the one who made the shiniest Terminators of them all, until he and his friend discovered that his Terminators have a bug that will make them uncontrollable and will turn them into actual Terminators. So they want to fix this bug, but Donald Trump, who's one of the leaders of this generic corporation, isn't really keen on that because he's been selling these Terminators to the military across the world, and so he kills Derrida's father and friend so that no bug fix can ever be made for the Terminators. Apparently this high-tech world doesn't know about the existence of Dropbox. But Derrida survives because a magical friend's daughter appears before him, and so he stumbles into a random cryo chamber and sleeps for 10 years straight. Upon awakening, Derrida stumbles into the world, sees the predictable outcome of everything covered in Terminators, and then with the help of Mad Max tries to find his friend's daughter and restore justice by leaping in time randomly to fix stuff. That's right, there's time travel here. Oh boy. If I had to describe this anime in one word, predictable would be the first thing that comes to mind, and not even the well-executed type of predictable, but the one where you predict entire episodes worth of content and the only things unpredictable have been literally pulled out of the sky for no reason whatsoever. Almost every single character in here is either forgettable or insufferable, with the only exception being Donna, mostly because I don't think even the creators had a clear idea what they want to do with her until the very end, which resulted in a mess of a character whose backstory is dropped on the viewer with the grace of someone live streaming a suicide. But even they aren't as egregious as time traveling, or to be more specific, a glorified butterfly effect. I hate this cliché. Time travel in itself is not a bad plot device. You just have to turn your brain off and accept all illogical shit that might happen. Butterfly effect, on the other hand, is often used by writers to mask their incompetent Deus Ex Machina placement that can single-handedly kill all but the best written stories out there. The fact that this particular story is formulaic from down to bottom doesn't help much. This is clearly a work of an inexperienced studio. Everything shows that, especially the graphics, cause they look as if at best two different studios worked on them, or at worst just two random groups of people, but in both cases there was a clear lack of time or communication, because the characters' faces and proportions changed 3-5 times per episode. Some of them have just horrendously drawn frames, finding which had turned into the only source of entertainment I had from this show. My employers liked the part where Derrida turned into Spider-Man for a couple of seconds, while my favorite part was when they only animated two characters, resulting in the girl standing behind them to have a permanently open jaw like duh. Overall, boring and bad. The only thing I liked is Mad Max, because it's literally Mad Max up to being an ex-cop with a murdered family. It's not often I don't even have words to describe this mess without just spoiling everything, so instead I'll end it all with just this. There, about as productive as the dialogue in this show.